you were asked on your wedding day to call off the ceremony all of a sudden, would you pause to find out why? Or would you push forward, ignoring the warnings? What exactly would you do, dear viewers? Ada was the only daughter of her parents, cherished and adored by her two elder brothers, Emeka and Chidi. From a young age, Ada had always dreamed of marrying a wealthy man so she could proudly bear the title Oga wife, which is a term used to describe the wife of a very rich man. She had a strong taste for luxury and was drawn to the finer things of life. So when Ada met Tunde, a man of considerable wealth, she didn't hesitate to agree to marry him after only 3 weeks of knowing him. For Ada, Tunde's riches were all that mattered, and she was thrilled at the thoughts of the glamorous life that awaited her. But my dear viewers, I want to ask, are riches the only thing that matters in marriage? Let's find out in the story. The wedding plans were quickly set in motion after Tunde met her parents. Ada was beyond excited about her upcoming wedding to an Odogu. Remember, I said Odogu is a simple term used to describe a rich man. She eagerly awaited the day she would walk down the aisle, dressed in her finest gown, ready to claim her title as Oga wife. She felt her dreams were finally coming to pass and said to herself, I have finally found the perfect man of my dreams, a man with riches, uncountable money, and I'm going to finally bear the title of Oga wife. But my dear viewers, who wouldn't be happy to get married to a wealthy man, thinking their life would be full of luxury and wealth? But wait, could that be the case in Ada's story? The more reason you should keep listening to this story. The day of the wedding finally arrived, and Ada was all excited, getting her hair done, her makeup, everything that would make sure the wedding was a success. But on that wedding morning, while Ada was getting dressed, Emeka, Ada's elder brother, walked into the room with a troubled expression. Troubled expression? what could they be up to? Before I continue my story, my dear viewers, this is a plea to you. If you're watching my videos and haven't subscribed, please be part of my growth by clicking on that subscribe button. And if you're a returning subscriber, I see you. Thank you so much for coming back. I really appreciate you and do not take your support for granted. So let's get back to the story. Emeka, Ada's elder brother, said to her, Ada, she needs to call off this wedding. His voice was filled with urgency. Ada turned to him, her face flushed with anger. Why would you say that? This is my wedding day and you're trying to ruin it? How can you ask me to call off my wedding? For Christ's sake, it's my wedding day. You are supposed to be happy for me. Emeka tried to reason with her and explain why, but Ada would not listen. Instead, she lashed out, accusing him of jealousy. You are just envious because ever since you graduated, you haven't been able to get a good job or even become as wealthy as my Tunde. This is why you don't want me to marry him, because you don't want me to enjoy riches. You don't want me to have what you can't achieve. You are the elder brother here. You should act like one. Emeka's heart sank at her harsh words. Ada, this isn't about me, he said. I'm only trying to protect you. Try to listen to me. But Ada was too furious to care. She called him wicked and accused him of wanting to ruin her happiness. Hurt and angry, Emeka left the room, vowing never to interfere again. Dear viewers, I'm sure you are wondering why Emeka would walk up to his baby sister on her wedding day and ask her to call off the wedding. But if you were Ada, would you calm down to listen to your elder brother, or would you react the same way Ada just did? Be sincere. Let me know in the comment section. Despite her brother's warning, the wedding ceremony proceeded and Ada got married to Tunde. After the wedding, Ada arrived at her husband's house with so much excitement. The house was indeed full of luxury and wealth, a big mansion that anyone would want to live in. Of course, Ada was super excited and she said, "Just take a look at all the glitz and glamour in luxury, and my brother Emeka wanted me to call off the wedding to this wealthy man. He must be sick. Thank God I didn't listen to him about calling off the wedding, or I would have missed all this." What a jealous brother. Other brothers look out for their sisters, and all Emeka could do was tell me to call off my wedding. Well, let me sit in this wealth and enjoy money. Ada had no idea that Emeka had discovered something that could save her life. It's been 6 months since Ada got married to Tunde, and her parents became worried because they hadn't heard from Ada in a long while. Her number was no longer connecting, and even her brothers hadn't heard from her at all. Her parents became worried, sick about their daughter. Back in the city, Ada's dreams of a glamorous life as an Oga wife soon turned into a nightmare. Within a few months of the wedding, Emeka's concern became painfully clear. Ada's parents called Emeka and asked him what he wanted to say on the wedding day. That was when Emeka revealed that Tunde wasn't just a wealthy man, he was also part of a dark secret society. Emeka had discovered that Tunde had been married 4 times before, each time to a different woman who mysteriously died within a year of their wedding. Tunde's wealth was tied to these deaths, as he sacrificed each wife to renew his life and maintain his riches. Ada's parents were shocked to hear this, and they begged their son Emeka to please go look for their daughter Ada in the city. Emeka, unable to shake his worry, decided to visit Ada without informing Tunde. When he arrived at their lavish mansion, he found the house eerily quiet. As he sat in the parlor, he heard strange voices coming from a locked room. Breaking down the door, he found Ada crying. She said to her brother in a whisper, "He plans to use me to renew his life, just like he did with his other wives. I discovered all of his secrets after our wedding." Emeka was horrified but acted quickly. He gathered Ada's belongings and they made their way out of the house. But as they reached the door, Tunde appeared, blocking their way. "You think you can leave? No one escapes me," he said. Emeka stood his ground. His determination wasn't shaken. "I'm taking my sister out of this house today." Ada trembled behind him, her earlier anger and pride now replaced with sheer terror. She clutched Emeka's arm tightly, her mind reeling with the horrifying truth she had uncovered. Emeka, however, stood his ground. His face was set with determination. "You, this boy, you are challenging me," Tunde said to him. "I have dealt with far stronger men than you, and they've all fallen. Do you think you can stand me? Do you think you can stand against me?" Without warning, Tunde lunged at Emeka, his movement swift and vicious. Emeka, summoning every bit of strength he had left, struck Tunde's face with a powerful punch, causing him to stagger backward. Emeka quickly followed with a well-aimed kick, sending Tunde crashing into a nearby table. Using that opportunity, Emeka grabbed Ada's hand, pulling her towards the door. But Tunde, now enraged and bleeding, lunged at them one last time. His face was twisted in fury. Emeka, however, was ready. With a swift move, he swung a broken chair leg at Tunde, striking him on the head. Tunde crumpled to the floor, unconscious and defeated. Panting and shaking, Emeka and Ada didn't waste a second. They fled out of the house into the night, running as fast as their legs could carry them. They didn't stop until they were far from Tunde's mansion, finally collapsing in exhaustion on the roadside. It was only then, as they caught their breath, that the full weight of what had happened settled on Ada. Tears welled up in her eyes as she turned to Emeka. Her voice was trembling with regret. "Emeka," she said, "I'm so sorry. I was wrong. I should have listened to you. I was so blinded by wealth and the thought of becoming an Oga wife that I didn't see the truth. I insulted you. I doubted your love for me, and I put my life at risk. Can you ever forgive me, my brother?" Emeka looked at his sister. His face was softened as he saw the sincerity in her eyes. He gently pulled her into a hug, holding her closely. "You are my sister, Ada," he said. His voice was filled with emotion. "I will always forgive you. What matters now is that you are safe and that you've learned from this. Wealth isn't worth your life. I just want you to be happy, but in the right way, my dear sister." Ada nodded, her tears soaking his shirt. She knew her brother was right and that she had been foolish to let material things cloud her judgment. She had learned a hard lesson in a hard way, but she was grateful to have her brother by her side. The moral of this story is true love and concern from family should never be taken for granted, and wealth should never be the only reason to marry someone. There are many other things that are important when choosing a life partner. Ada almost lost her life because her obsession with money and the title of being an Oga wife was really much. But thankfully, she had a brother who cared enough to save her from a fate worse than death. So, my dear viewers, always listen to those who care about you. They might see what you cannot.